giddy this morning, but welcome to
coffee.
Too much coffee. Welcome to the theStreamtv's Big Brother 17 after show. I am your host, Kevin Zelman, joined by Ashley Ioko.
Hello.
And Ryan Hooks.
Hey guys, welcome. Thanks for coming in and hanging out with us today.
Obviously, Jen is not here. She couldn't be with us today, unfortunately. We miss you, Jen, but she'll be back here next week. But let's get into it, guys, because I have a lot of comments.
So much.
Absolutely. I'm giddy over Big Brother.
Yeah, me too, girl.
Woo!
There we go.
Getting crazy in here.
Yeah, so the week started off with a very surprising turn of events. Steve was HOH, which I'm so happy
knew?
about.
Go, Steve.
Right? What?
Oh, yeah.
Who knew?
Oh, what was that? Let's do it again.
That was
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, I was very excited that Steve was HOH, but it happened because it was him and Johnny Mac were left. Remind me of the HOH competition. Why am I blanking?
You having a brain
I
aneurysm?
am. What was it?
Ryan.
I'm blanking too.
Well, there we go.
All I can think of.
It was
all I
it
can
was
think.
the true or false.
Oh, yeah.
There was a true or false one.
All I can think about is Austin in a tutu.
It was like forever
spinning
ago.
and bowling, crawling across the floor.
That's POV. We're getting
I know,
ahead of
I know.
ourselves.
I
Yeah,
know.
myself.
I kept thinking of eggs.
That's this week's HOH.
I know.
Okay, so
This is
they
an
had to do the
after-show,
true or
people.
false blocks, and it was Johnny Mac and Steve. And Johnny Mac thought, you know what, this is probably Steve's only competition he could really win.
It wasn't the true or false blocks. It was the picture blocks. That's why we're forgetting it all, because they showed the baseball cards with all the pictures of everyone, and they had to build their faces. Steve was building them on the table.
Yes,
Johnny Mac
you're
was,
right.
and Johnny Mac actually could have won the competition. He was like, I don't really want to win, and if they showed his square was all but done except one piece, and he just left it on the floor and stood there while Steve finished and let Steve win.
Which I thought was very
That was very
smart
smart.
because there was no point to him for him to win that.
For really not winning anything, Johnny Mac, I think, is one of the smartest players.
Yeah, because he flowed in the beginning. He rolled with the punches, and now he's playing smart, and he aligned with Vanessa. That was smart.
That was really smart.
Yeah. But, okay, so prior to Steve winning HOH, he and Austin, they had like a pact. I don't know how real it was, but they shook on it saying that they weren't going to put each other up if they were HOH.
Mm-hmm.
Do we feel that this could have been a good thing or a bad thing for Steve? No, now knowing that we know the nominations were Austin and Liz.
Well, no, and as you watch that part of the show, he's like, well, you did this to me 2 weeks ago, and I said, don't put me and Johnny Mac next to each other on the block, and you did it anyway. He goes, well, it's because I didn't shake on it. And then as you watch,
Yeah,
Steve
they
was like,
always do
okay,
that.
sure, great. And then Steve didn't like shake on it because he's like, I'll shake on it right now. I'll shake on it right now. So basically, Steve just did the exact same thing to Austin that he did to him, which I thought was really smart. Because then he'd be like, "Oh, sorry, Austin, I didn't shake on it."
Of
Well,
course.
the same thing happened with James when he made the deal with Shelly and Clay.
Uh-huh.
And it's his decision if he wanted to make that deal an actual thing, which I was really mad about. I thought that was really sucky of James, to be honest. But that's besides the point.
It was, but it's Big Brother, and as we know, you always make a deal, and you don't say, oh, no, I can't do that. So you just make the deal, and then you break it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So as I just said, so Liz and Austin were on the block, which I'm sure we were all excited about because we ask our guests every week why Liz and Julia or Liz and Austin, one or two out of those three people, why were they not targeted earlier on in the season? So I was stoked. I was ready for the big move.
We
Steve is
needed
becoming
it.
an Ian.
Yeah.
I was excited.
Yeah.
I don't know about all that.
Well,
but
he finally,
a big move.
I
Yeah.
think he had a realization and was like, all right, this is my chance. This is the time to make a big move and make Big Brother history.
I mean,
so to speak.
in the defense of Ian, who played an amazing game, Steve was forced to make this move. Like, would he have made it if there would have been four other people that he could have put up this week? That's the real question. Because he literally has no one else but those two people to put up this week. And I am really glad, though, that Vanessa stepped in and convinced him to put up Austin against Liz instead of Julia and Liz. That was by far the best move because, as we saw, Austin later won, and they could replace with the other twin.
But he could have put up pawns and not done, gone for the big move right away, though.
At this point, you know what I mean? Who cares at this point? There's 6 people left in the house. Someone has to go.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Would you have done the same thing if you were?
Yeah.
Okay.
At this
Absolutely.
point, a lot of the strategy game is gone. It's just who wins the competitions right now.
It is.
really
It's
comes down
all
to it.
100%.
competitions right now.
I mean, we saw it last year with Cody. Cody kept winning competitions at the end of the game when he needed to stay in the game. He probably would have gone 3 weeks sooner had he not won those competitions.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And by the way, that HOH that we conveniently forgot, that looked difficult. Did you guys think you would do well?
The thing is, so I'm watching with my friend at home, and I'm watching the names go through, and I think they played 4 times. I got 3 out of the 4 right. Like the first time, like it went around.
You hear that? You hear that, CBS?
I
Kevin needs to be on
I
the
told
next
Ryan
season.
this earlier. I haven't told you this. I'm applying for Big Brother next season. I'm gonna apply for it.
So make sure you sign up for Tinder now.
Yeah, exactly.
I know, right? So tweet CBS saying that you guys want at Kevin Zelman on Twitter or on Big Brother.
You want you on Twitter also?
Yeah, followers. We all love that. Okay, so Power of Veto was hosted by Mr. Spectacular, which was
I always love
exciting.
seeing him.
That was
Jesse's
exciting.
always a fun episode. And
I love
he's
how
super
short he
sexy.
is, though.
Yeah.
He was on the platform. Austin was off the platform, was still a foot taller than him.
Well, Austin, he's like 6'5". He's like
Yeah.
abnormally tall too. So
Yeah.
put that into consideration also. But okay, so the POV, the house guests, they had to choose who they wanted to bowl against, which this was controversy here. What happened in the game?
Oh my God, to say the least.
With Vanessa?
This is called Big Brother Brainwash. That's what I'd like to call this
Or
episode.
it's called You Are in Vanessa's House.
Yeah, Vanessa's house. Brainwash, where she's just tells her what to do. And
Well,
I think
let's
sometimes...
explain.
Okay, yeah.
Let's explain what
we'll
happened.
We'll tell you what happened.
So it was Julia's turn to choose who she wanted to go up against. So because it's her, Liz, and Austin still in the game, she shouldn't have chosen Austin or Liz to go up against because one of them would be eliminated. So Vanessa told Julia, saying, hey, trust me here, pick Austin, you guys will go up against each other. And Julia's like, no, like I shouldn't do that, guys. And then she chooses Austin, and I'm at home like, oh my God, why would you do that?
Oh
but then
my
it's like,
God,
good, thank God.
And I'm
she
at
did.
home
Everyone
going,
was like,
Yeah. And I'm thinking
Vanessa.
like, Vanessa is such a genius.
She's such a manipulator. She's so good at just crying at the right times and being like, what? Like, I don't get
The
it.
more I think about her game as the show progresses, I keep going back to like when she gets really, really emotional.
Yeah.
And like I'm almost wondering if that was part of a strategy because people are like scared of her and like when, especially guys, when girls get really emotional, you don't like. Just like, you know what? You're good. I'm gonna go in the other room and you just figure it out. And like they're like Steve is scared of her, and some of these people are.
I feel bad for Steve. Like Vanessa, Liz, and
she's
Julia
intense.
are so mean to him.
I know. Well, you know, psychologically, going back to the emotional thing, guys shut off with emotions. I've read this many books. They can't handle too much emotion, so you're right. She does have a strategy. I think her emotions are a strategy.
Because I know,
I agree.
like, when anyone, especially a female, they cry in front of me, like, I don't know what to do. Don't want to be a part of it.
'cause
I
you
want to turn
don't.
around and walk away. I want nothing with that.
So then when she's getting up in Steve's face, like crying, like, why'd you use that in my face? And then Steve's probably like, where's my mom? I need a hug.
I'd do the same
Calm
thing.
down.
Hi, Mom. That's what I would do. But what I want to know, because I haven't really thought about this until as we're talking about it, have we seen actual tears from Vanessa? Like, the actual tear, or is it just, like, making the face, pretending
Her
she's
eyes
crying?
well up and she gets,
Okay.
you know. I haven't seen
But,
like
you know-
gushing tears, but.
That's called good acting. You know?
Oh, she deserves like an Oscar nomination for her performance in Big Brother. Like, she's playing a
Absolutely.
phenomenal game.
Daytime Emmy, here we come.
Yeah, so back to the POV competition. At the end, it was Austin and Johnny Mac, and Austin whispered to Johnny Mac saying, like, I really want this, kind of insinuating that Johnny Mac should throw it to him. And then as Johnny Mac's in the DR room, he's like, no, like, I'm not going to throw it to him. Like, why would I want to do that, you know? I love his DRs, first of all.
Right? Hey, lady.
That I was in the audience last night, and when he came out and he said that, we were dying. I don't know if you could hear it on TV, but everyone was hysterically laughing.
It's so funny.
But, okay, so Austin ended up winning the competition. He was, like, fierce about it. I would have done, like, the exact same thing, because I'm
was
competitive like
fierce.
that. I would have, like, been jumping up and down. And
Apparently, though, with the competition, because they were getting so dizzy and trying to spin so fast, he won just because he was so frantic about it. Like, he was just, like, throwing balls and spinning really fast. But, like, there is a strategy to that. When you spin, it's called head spotting, and you actually look at the same object each time you spin around, and it keeps you from getting dizzy. That's what ballerinas do when they spin multiple times, where they'll turn and look, and they'll turn and look, and they'll turn and look, and then you just you can spin forever.
Yeah,
and
it
not get
reminds
dizzy.
me of a fun drinking game in college with a bat, and you keep going around and around. But you're right. You got to spot. You got to stay focused. But
And that's what
that
You know what you were doing in college.
that's what Johnny Mac did early when he won the first. He's like, I'm gonna go slow, and you could see him spotting as he was turning, which allowed him to get through to the final
Yeah.
against Austin.
And I think adrenaline also was fueling Austin's win, for sure.
Rage,
Obviously, rage, adrenaline.
but
Gotcha.
still not worst case scenario with Austin winning, by all means, because he took himself down. He still had the twin, which was why it was smart to put Austin and Liz up together.
So afterwards, after Austin won the POV, Vanessa tells the twins that it's good they listened to her because Austin wouldn't have thrown it to her. This is where I was confused. Was it throwing it to Liz or Julia or throwing it to Vanessa? Was she saying?
Well, I think the idea, what?
There's so many she and
That's
hers
where
and
I
hins,
was
that's
lost
confusing.
as well, and I was hoping you guys could help me out
I
with
think
that.
in terms of a gameplay move, this is why it was smart to put Austin against Liz. Because Austin's not the type of person that's going to use the veto to save Liz and keep himself up there because he knows he's going home against Julia. So if he won, and that's why for Julia, it was actually smart to challenge him because Julia could have won and pulled Liz down. Then Julia and Liz are both safe and it would have been Austin against Vanessa. So really from Vanessa's game point, I mean, that would have been for the twins and for Vanessa eventually winning this game, that, is a good move all around.
How many times has Vanessa been on the block?
None.
Really?
Zero. Zero
I know
times.
that because this was Austin's first time on the block too.
Yeah.
So
Johnny
Austin.
Mac, I think, takes the cake.
Well, I was thinking. Tell me if I'm wrong. If he wins Big Brother, he could be the first winner without ever being an HOH, or has that happened before?
Oh, I know. Dr. Will. I don't
that's
think
right.
he ever won an HOH, and he's like the king
Right.
of Big Brother.
That'd be awesome if Johnny Mac did it. So
He is
Austin,
the doctor of Big Brother.
Well, doesn't he always come in like the night before finale
Yes,
and talk to the
I
jury
believe
house?
he talks to the jury house, and I
Yeah.
hope he does again.
Me too. I like that.
Yeah.
I love when they show the jury house.
Me too. Did you see Julie Chen's tweet? Did you see that, guys? She said, who would like to see a BB jury show? And I was like, me?
I would watch an entire episode of this jury hanging out talking about stuff.
Right? I mean,
Wait, I am
unless I was
so
going through my
excited.
feed really fast and it was like a fake Julie Chen, because, sometimes there's the,
Well, was it a verified Julie Chen?
I don't know. You
at the break,
guys,
we are going to check
I think
this
it really
out.
was Julie Chen.
We're gonna check this out at the break.
Okay.
Anyway, let's talk about Austin saving himself. How about that?
Yeah, Austin. So he saved himself, and Steve put Julia right up there, which we all knew was going to happen. Once again, we're all excited because the twins need to go. It's been too long with them in the game.
I know. What is the house thinking?
One of the tweets that I saw this week that I thought was really funny is, obviously Liz and Julia think this game is clearly about them.
Oh, I know.
And one of them was like, I can't wait to see how they react when they find out how much people hate them and how much people don't want them to win and don't like watching their game. Like, I'm interested.
The twins?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was thinking, because in the audience, I was thinking, you know what? This could be where the boos are going to come if Liz or Julia walks out the door. No boos happen, so I think Austin is going to get the boos.
Yeah.
Austin would
I
get
think
booed
the
for
twins
sure.
Are, yes.
With
I think
everything
the
with
twins
his-
are still likable characters.
His girlfriend.
Which,
Oh, yes, we
by
have
the
some tea.
way, after the break, we're not going to break yet, but I'm saying this is coming after the break. I have exclusive information regarding Austin's girlfriend, which everyone's going to love, especially the BB super fans. So exciting.
So
Stay
good.
tuned for that.
So good.
Yeah?
And just side note, this isn't game talk. I don't think that it was very nice about Liz and Julia talking about how Austin is a bad kisser and stuff like that, because he's going to watch that later. It's going to be mortifying.
But I mean, don't you forget you're being filmed?
Yeah, I know.
like
It's good
24/7,
TV.
you know?
It was just hard to
That's
watch.
like, if I'm on it, who knows what's going to come out of my mouth? Like, I have to make sure I'm censored on here. Like, who knows when I'm just like, out and about, not thinking I'm
You're
actually
right.
on camera.
You're right.
I'm not mad about it, honestly, because, I mean, with his girlfriend and everything, like, that's just a dick move. He basically broke up with his girlfriend on TV by kissing another girl. I mean, that's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's hurtful.
When you watched your episodes back, was there
Yeah.
anything that you said you wish you didn't say?
Oh my God, yes.
Everything.
I have no regrets because, you can't live in regrets. But
Right.
yeah, there's definitely some things I would change. I'd be more conscious and aware of myself.
All right, so I want to remind you guys that if you go on Twitter, use hashtag BB17AS, tweet us all your comments, your questions. We are here to answer them for you. Make sure you're typing in the YouTube chat below. We will read some YouTube comments also. But now let's get to eviction night because it came with so many curveballs. Because Liz and Julia are up on the block, so as you would think, Liz is probably going home because she's won a gazillion amount of competitions.
She won 3 HOHs.
Yeah.
And
But,
AKA gazillion.
yeah, basically. In Big Brother, that's a lot. In Big Brother, that's a lot. So what it all came down to, so Vanessa was basically the deciding vote. Because Austin was going to vote for Julia to go home. Johnny Mac was going to vote for Liz to go home. I'm trying to put the names in order in my head as I'm talking. But so Vanessa was saying that she thinks that she can beat Julia but not Liz, which is why she at first wanted to evict Liz. And then this, I would never have taken this deal, but Vanessa's a genius, so I loved this. Vanessa made a deal with Austin and Liz with 3 conditions. One of the conditions was if Austin or Liz win HOH, Johnny Mac and Steve are the front door. If the noms stay the same, it's Vanessa's call on who goes home. And if it's final 3 with Austin and Liz, she expects to be in the final 2.
no, she said if one of them isn't there. So if Julia's out or Liz, and then at this point Liz, or Austin is out and there's 3 left, one or the other has to take her with them.
Yes, but the best line was, "That's fair, right?"
Like,
yeah, of course.
The thing is, like, coming from Vanessa, I could see where she thinks it's fair because she's thinking that they're thinking that she's going to save one of their players. So I totally see where she was coming from, but then when you think about it, it's preposterous. Like, you were asking
absurd.
so much of this. Like, you're basically asking, okay,
Here, Vanessa.
if I saved your one person
Here,
this
this
week,
is $500,000. Just
Yeah,
take
it's
it.
your game.
I don't
win,
want it.
please.
Just you take it.
And also, speaking of that, saying how like Vanessa's might win the $500,000, people on Twitter are saying she doesn't deserve to win because she's already a multi-millionaire and all this stuff.
You
but
get
the
that
show
every
isn't
year.
for helping to better lives. It's playing a game.
Yeah.
That's what people aren't understanding.
Right.
That happens every single year.
I mean, who
So
knows? You
the
say that
fans
now,
will
she
say
may
something
win, and then
like
she'll
that.
turn around and donate the $500,000 to an animal charity. You know?
Yeah, she
Right.
could. You
I
don't
mean,
know.
Who cares?
And okay, so we know Julia went home. It was a unanimous vote. It was 3-0 Julia, which stupidest house in Big Brother history.
What are you thinking? Like,
I'm sitting there in the audience with my dad, and we're just sitting there like, oh my God, like, why would you do this? When Liz is, to me, playing Big Brother, when you have a huge target on the block like Liz, you get them out when you can. Am I wrong?
Yes, and I don't care about targets at this point. Like we said earlier, it's a competition game, and Liz is clearly good at competition. So, Vanessa, if I say this is the one time in your game that you messed up.
That she didn't evict Liz?
Yeah.
Totally.
Absolutely, this
Absolutely,
was the time.
yeah.
And I get the perspective of saying, oh, Liz is a bigger target later down the road. So if you're
cares?
up against Liz versus Julia, you know, Liz will go home over Vanessa. But yeah, who cares at this point? Because now, especially another double eviction next week, for the most part.
Basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Sorry.
that could have been Vanessa's
Yeah, that might have.
deal breaker right there.
It's true. It's true. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break. Make sure you're tweeting us with hashtag BB17AS, and we will come back answering your Twitter and YouTube questions, and we're going to tell you some stuff about Austin's girlfriend from home, so stay tuned.
Juicy.
Yeah, buddy.
Just in case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live.
Just in case you missed it live.
Oh, just in case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live, I'm doing something right now.
So we're all super excited.
This is dancing.
So what would that be, like a 7?
I cannot. I literally cannot. You guys have got to get it together.
Don't hate the player, don't hate the game. Hate the contract you didn't get.
He's a coward. He's a giant chicken shit.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's going to be like hurricane. Whoa.
Watch out for those girls. They are gagging them.
Hold the phone,
Hold on.
bro.
The more brutal you are, the more power you have.
Right.
That was sexy. It was hot. It was heated. I was into it.
You are going to be the most high-paid hooker in the world.
Go ahead and invite your friends and everybody. Tell your mama, tell them, go ahead and turn the stove off and get up on the computer so we can get on theStream.tv.
Thank you again for joining us, and until next week, bye-bye.
Welcome back, welcome back. How are we?
Yeah, we are
Thanks
well.
for staying with us, guys. We are going to bring the show over to you in just a moment with all the Twitter and YouTube questions that we are getting. But first, I learned
Give us the tea, man.
What?
Give us the tea. We're waiting.
Don't you worry. Everyone's dying.
Elevating.
I found out some stuff about Austin's girlfriend, and what I know from a very good source is that she is extremely upset because she at first did not want to do anything with Austin anymore because she cannot believe that she was basically broken up with on live television.
Yikes.
But now she's in the angry phase, and so I'm very, because we're from the same hometown, me and Austin. So
Oh,
that's,
how funny.
yeah, so, or neighboring city. So we know kind of the same people. But I'm very interested to see / hear what's going to happen once he's out of the house. Liz is out of the house. His girlfriend is now kind of back in the picture because they're back in real life. And if they're actually going to talk, get back together, or...
Well, you know what? The same thing happened, I believe, in All-Stars, Big Brother 7, with Dr. Will and Janelle. Dr. Will had a girlfriend, and he was like flirting. I don't think Janelle and Dr. Will made out on the show. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Help me out, fans. But obviously they had a showmance, and they got back together, Dr. Will and his girlfriend. And now I think they're married.
Well, and on tweets last night, too, I saw they were talking about Gina Marie as well and their relationship after her significant other left the house a couple seasons ago.
Gina Marie?
Yeah.
Who was she with?
Steve was talking about it on Twitter. Or, sorry, the live feeds were talking about Steve talking about it.
Oh, because I'm trying to remember who her,
Regardless.
because wasn't that Macranda season 2?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember who her, God, I love this.
I love these gossip.
You know what, though? In the Zen perspective of life, they're living in the moment.
It's true.
So let's see what happens after the show.
It's true. And also, so we found the tweet from Julie Chen, and it says, who else would want to see a show on the hashtag BBJ? I don't know if we're able to. Are we able to see it at all? I don't know if we are, but
No, but
I want to.
Yep.
It happened. It's there.
Julie said it.
From the verified account, guys. It's happening. Hopefully it's happening, but she tweeted.
Dang, I wish they had that in my season. Jury House was crazy.
Let's bring Ashley back for jury season.
Done.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about some of
let's-
these Twitter questions. So first off, I'd like to give a shout out to our friends over at Ask Morty TV, Big Brother Junkies, Hamster Watch, Online Big Brother, Reality Wanted, and Joker Updates. Thanks, guys, for all your support. We appreciate all you do. Thanks, everyone who's watching live right now on our live feed as well. Send us questions every week with the hashtag BB17AS. Be sure following us at theStream.tv, at Kevin Zelman, at Ashley Locco, at Genius Life, at Ryan Hooks 92. So let's get down to some of these tweets.
Yeah.
Speaking of our good friend over at Genius Life, this is from Jen Johnson. We miss you.
Miss you, Jen.
All right.
Love this
We
tweet.
get these guys up here? Cool. So she said, LOL, watching Big Brother After Dark, Geek Squad McGee, which is Steve's Twitter handle, really does look like Billy the Blue Power Ranger. If you get zoom in a picture right there of Billy the Blue Power Ranger and Steve next to each other from the original Power Rangers series, I think that's so true.
Oh, 100%. We were talking about Power Rangers before. I can't even tell you what any of the Power Rangers really looked like, to be honest. I know them in their suits. I know pink, blue, red, green, whatever other color.
We know Power Rangers. We know more about Big Brother, so let's keep talking about that. So Mike Joseph said, I'll miss them in the house together, but they were bound to be split up. Now Liz needs to dominate the rest of the game. So, I mean, this goes back to what we were saying with why didn't you vote out Liz? Why didn't you vote out Liz?
Why didn't you vote out Liz?
Once again, why didn't you vote out Liz? If I have to be a part of the group now. It's very frustrating to me. As a fan, I don't understand. Maybe it's different when you're in the house, but I don't know how they can't see Liz as a bigger threat than Julie and wanted to keep Liz. I don't...
Crazy.
I mean, I know they said they were honoring the wishes of the house and everything like that. I get it, but at the same time, the house isn't your game.
That's ridiculous.
I know. So let's move on. So this one's from Mama Xanax.
I love Mama Xanax.
All right, Vanessa is already decoding her message for secret game signals. So this week we did have messages from home, and so there's an assumption that there are some encoded signals from Mel, Melissa's girlfriend, about like, what's happening in the game.
Which I wouldn't be surprised if that actually was, but if you if it actually did happen, because Vanessa is she would think to do that. But at the same time, how could you have secret signals when you don't really know who the top whatever is going to be? That's
I feel like they could be.
confused.
All I think about is that scene in 21 where they're like doing hand signals behind their. So like when she was lifting the dog's legs up, like to me it was like a signal.
That could be.
Like Morse code or something.
Right. All right, so Dan, the BB fan, says, as StreamTV, remember when Audrey pulled everyone upstairs and declared Vanessa the biggest threat? Kind of ironic now, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it says a lot because everyone thought Audrey, we love her, she was a guest on the show, everyone thought Audrey was going crazy, when it's actually Vanessa is going crazy but more keeping it inside.
She's a mastermind. It reminds me of my season when Willie pulled everyone up to the HOH room and said, those coaches are coming back into the game. And what happened? The coaches came back in the game. So listen to these people.
But did you listen to him in your season?
Nope.
And what happened?
The coaches came back in
and where'd you end up?
Dominated the jury house.
Hopefully on
goes back to
the
trust your gut. Like trust your instincts and your gut in the game. When Steve was saying, "Oh, why didn't I do this?" You should have done that.
Yeah.
Hindsight. All right. So Sloppy Deb said all Steve needs to do is spill the beans on Austin and Liz and what Austin told him last week when he was HOH. Do you think this would be a good idea on Steve's part to actually go to everyone else and be like, "Hey, Austin tried to make deals with me, selling every single person out, including you, Liz"?
I think he should wait. If there's a point in the game where Austin's HOH and Steve is on the block, I think that's when it should happen because no one will be able to get Austin out for that HOH because he's already out. So he'd be more likely to be on the block that week. So I think he should wait.
So then assuming that Austin doesn't win the HOH this week, if he goes into the following week and wins, then that's when we could see Steve doing that. Do you really... I feel this season has a bunch of people who aren't those type of characters that will like just start like they're just not going to start throwing out gossip to like just ruin everyone else's game.
Because it's so late, I do think Steve might to only Johnny Mac and Vanessa, or only Johnny Mac, really.
I mean, I'm not that kind of person either. But if I was in Big Brother and I was about to go out the door, I would just be dropping bombs on everybody like this happened and this happened and this is going on and this is so like everyone knew. Just because I as a fan would like to see that happen. As I'm walking out the door. That's just me. All right, and then Dan the BB fan, again, dropping love to you this week.
Yeah.
All kinds of good stuff. So how do you think things would have gone differently if Jackie or Becky came back in the house?
That's a really great question because I really don't know. Would they have more would the numbers be on Jackie or Becky's side of the house? I'm trying to remember who would...
Jackie or Becky would have gone with Meg and James. So that side maybe would have had a different swing, whereas Steve and Johnny Mac then went to the other side of the house with the Austins and Vanessa. So it could have shifted because they were right at that tipping point where like if Vanessa would have jumped ship or somebody else different came in and went with that side of the house could have ran the numbers and taken the rest of the people out.
It's true. So Johnny Mac really made her broke in this game. I mean, I think he made it personally, but it really was all up to him.
Yeah.
I mean, not that I don't really like looking at Jackie, because I do. I'm glad Johnny Mac is back.
Me too. Me too. I have a good tweet from Caroline Bradshaw. The upside to this is that Vanessa can't play in Final Four HOH, which means she has to win Final Four veto, or she probably gets out fourth.
I think so.
I like that. That makes sense.
It's going to be a tough one, guys. When it comes down to this, literally anything can happen because there's now such little players, which is so sad because it means that Big Brother is almost over.
2 weeks of Big Brother left.
2 weeks.
So
which
2
actually,
more after shows.
I wanted to tell you guys, in case you missed it on the end of the show last night, Big Brother is now going to be on Sunday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, not Thursdays anymore. So Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
What that means for us is the next week will be live on Thursday.
Yeah.
Instead of Friday.
That's a day early, guys.
Thirsty Thursday.
Ooh, should we do something?
You know what? All I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep drinking my hint water. This is peach hint water. It's delicious.
There we go. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in, as always, to the theStream.tv's Big Brother 17 After Show. We will be back here next Thursday, not Friday, next Thursday at 11 a.m. And tweet us your thoughts about everything, hashtag BB17AS. Can Liz and Austin work outside of the house? Let us know.
Let us know.
See you guys
Big
next
Brother
time.
fans, we love you. We love you so much.
There we go. All right, guys, have a good weekend.
Bye.
Bye. Peace and love.
For more Big Brother After Show on theStream.tv, click that button and subscribe.